Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my second video for E-Invoice from practical perspective. Today, we will be focusing only on issuing E-Invoice. If you haven't watched my first video, please spend 10 minutes to do so for a better understanding. Link is in the description. In video 1, I have explained there is two methods available in submitting E-Invoice. I have tested both methods, and I highly recommend to go for method 1, which is API integration. If you are already using an accounting software, please contact your service provider for necessary upgrade or add on E-Invoice module. Which software do we recommend? In SW Lim & Co., our preferred software is SQL Accounting, and all our existing clients are using this software. How about if you do not have a software yet? Well, it is time for you to source for an accounting service provider that can extend billing service for you. Discuss your budget and expectations. All discussions onwards will be based on the assumption of using API method and using SQL Accounting as reference. Before you start using your software to create E-Invoice, few preparation steps are essential. One of the director of your company need to have the director role assigned in MyTax. Director can apply for the role if they haven't done so. LHDN will approve the role within 3 to 5 working days. You may proceed to register for MyInvoice account and link database with the director role. Note there is a test environment available now for MyInvoice, which is also called the pre-production environment or sandbox in SQL. If you intend to start with sandbox, please also apply for director role in pre-production and do the same registration for MyInvoice account. By doing so, you can start with sandbox and move to live environment when the time comes. For the software side, kindly ensure you have purchased the E-Invoice module. You can contact your service provider to do the linking for you. Once it is done, you can now start using your software in Sandbox and get yourself familiar with the process. Before you issue your first E-Invoice, you need to understand the requirements and when to issue them. Full E-Invoice is the E-Invoice with the full customer information, which I will share in next slide. Full E-Invoice need to be issued to customer upon request. As E-Invoice will be used as a proof of business expense, do expect all commercial customers will need a full E-Invoice. You can easily cancel the invoice within 72 hours from the time of issuance. Don't worry, if changes need to be made after the 72 hours, you can still do so by using debit note or credit note. For customers who do not need an E-Invoice, you can continue with your current normal invoice or normal bill. Some customers may forget to request E-Invoice upon purchase and wish to convert their normal bill later to E-Invoice. Yes, you can convert your normal invoice to full E-Invoice if the request is within the same calendar month. If their normal invoice is dated 31st March and they request for conversion on 1st of April, you may reject the request as it falls under different calendar month. Remember, E-Invoice will serve as your proof of income. As all the normal invoices are not yet in MyInvoice portal, you will need to aggregate and submit them after month end using consolidated E-Invoice. This can be easily done using your software. If you have more than 100 normal invoices, you will need to make multiple submissions. Deadline for submission is within 7 calendar days after the month end. Let's revisit this from practical point of view. Start categorizing your customer into two main categories, i.e. commercial or individual. To avoid error during issuing process, you need to ensure your customer master data in your software for all your commercial customers are correctly updated. For smooth creation of full e-invoice, kindly ensure the following information is updated. Company full name, old BRN and new BRN, TIN number, address, and mobile number. And for individuals that require e-invoice, my card number and address need to be updated. Also, for businesses that collect deposits, e-invoice is not required for refundable deposit. For easier reconciliation and ease of tracking, we recommend issue a separate debit note for refundable deposit. Consider a different document number from your adjustment debit note if it is possible. Wait, before we proceed further, I need to highlight there is 7 industry or categories where consolidated e-invoice is not allowed. They include, first, automotive industries. This includes sale and purchase of motor vehicle. Second is the aviation industries. This includes charter flights, sales and purchase of flight tickets. Third is the luxury goods, where the definition will be announced later on. Fourth is constructions. Fifth will be the wholesalers and retailers of construction materials. Sixth is licensed paintings. And 7 is the payment to agents, dealers, or distributors. As you can see, categories listed above are mainly high-value items and non-essential purchases. So, even as an individual, if you make such purchases, this is now fully recorded in MyInvoice, trackable to you. Have we covered most of the practical challenges? Let's go through them again. First, there are many fields required input in MyInvoice portal, and our suggested solution is to choose API solution to submit your e-invoice. Second, high volume business have combination of commercial and walk-in customers. We suggest that you start collecting and update information of your existing commercial customers today in your customer master data of your accounting software. Third, e-invoice request will need the collection of TIN, IC, BRN, and also address. We suggest that you prepare a ready-made form, pen, and small space in your business area for walk-in customers that need e-invoice. Fourth, we all face internet outage, software error from time to time. For that, you can first issue a normal invoice and followed by conversion to e-invoice later on. And customer may also forget to request e-invoice at point of purchase. We suggest that you include a gentle reminder and terms and conditions of issuing e-invoice at the footnote of your normal invoice. I'm sure you have heard of the 6-month relaxation period by now. To ensure the smooth transition and implementation of e-invoice, our government has provided taxpayer a 6-month interim relaxation period from the date of your mandatory implementation date, as given on the slide. During the interim relaxation period, taxpayer can choose to issue consolidated e-invoice for all activities and transactions. This relaxation period also applies to special industries that we discussed earlier. In today's video, we have gone through issuance of e-invoice and the practical considerations. Please take time to discuss with your team on how these considerations apply to your business and what are your to-do items for this implementation. We will discuss e-invoice as a proof of business expense in the next video. Thank you for your time and stay tuned for the upcoming videos.